Imagine a spiritual pathway that addresses your physical health, emotional frequency, mental clarity, and spiritual well being, all in perfect harmony. This isn't just an ideal, it's the comprehensive nature of the Goddess Emergence show with Dr. Brie Gibbs, a spiritual leader, healer, and trance medium who, alongside of Goddess Belle, the creator, and other masters, will share information never before released on the planet to help guide and evolve humanity, and along the way, heal the four dimensions of body, emotions, mind, and spirituality. This show is about true spirituality, offering a new earth narrative and effective path to well-being as it accelerates the journey of our spiritual evolution to keep pace in this rapidly changing world. Get ready to emerge the goddess within each of us, both the feminine and the masculine. If you have any questions about yourself that you have no answers to, this is the show for you. Let's emerge together and emerge better. Now here is your host, Dr. Brie Gibbs.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Dr. Brie, and today's going to be a very interesting show. I want to talk about the five sisters, Pele, Marriha, Gaia, Quan Yin, Isis, and we're also going to talk about Goddess Belle today. Why have they've all been silenced. And Goddesses, we've been silenced. Why? In the last 5 years, the creators worked on many of us to expand our energy. So first of all, I'm going to bring on my guest with me today, Theresa Hebert. Hi, Theresa. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Hi. This is really interesting because I went through 5 years of transformation. Then I found out that all the God sisters went through it also. And it was like, I need to talk about this and explain why this happened and why the creator decided now is the time to bring all his goddesses back that are incarnated goddesses, bring us back in the bodies and be vocal. And why was it so necessary? So let's start off with the sisters, with Pele, Marriha, Quan Yin, Isis, and Gaia. And then I'll explain what Goddess Belle is. But here we go. They all had to evolve and get ready for this great shift of consciousness that we've talked years about, which is happening, and we're in the midst of it. And why the creator decided to bring us back down, all goddesses, and I say us, not just as the sisters, the five sisters and six sisters, now with Goddess Belle, which is amazing, which has never been on planet before, and she's here, and it's like the evolving that's going to happen with humanity in the spiritual world is going to be amazing. So what they had to go through is similar with what I went through. They had to change the physical, the emotional, the mental, spiritual to be able to communicate in this modern world today that we have. And the immense love that has to be brought back on the planet. I hear a lot of people talking about love, but show that love. And I'm not saying give them people money. I'm saying show it spiritually. As a goddess, goddess love is nurturing. And that's what everybody needs to know. And when you nurture someone, that's spiritual love without a physical love. The other thing is, why was the timing for Goddess Belle to come now? I mean, when you think about it, it's like, wow, a being that's never been on a planet that's here. And she picked out that name because we are not allowed to give out her true name. And why was she hidden from the world? You know, when you think about that, it's kind of like all this time she's been watching humanity for thousands and thousands of years, right? And she was created way back then with the original sisters. Why was she kept? Do you have any ideas about that, Teresa?
You know, I don't really, other than I think there's a timing of when things are really going to be needed. And we've waited for this great shift of consciousness for a very long time. So I think the timing is now.
Yes. And so she's here, and my office is full of guides right now, and they're all listening. And it's okay. So let's get to this. Uh, So they had to go through the physical effects and the emotional, mental, spiritual part of it. And coming into the old ways were not working anymore. And so many have said, well, I've heard from Isis or I've heard from Gaia. And yes, you may have, but in the older ways, terminology. Now, the new terminology is immense love. And they're very vocal. Um, I've had the pleasure to speak with one of them, I will say, and totally different now. And she laughs and she's joyful. And she's always had that in her, right? And I'm not gonna name which sister that is right now. Maybe at the end of the show I will. But the thing is that the immense love and humor she has, which we don't think that a lot of the goddesses have this humor. And they're not much different than you and I or anybody else out there. So that was the other thing. And so the emotional transformation they had to go through. And that's the emotional part of the body.
Well, you
There's a
mentioned that the old ways.
mhm.
What's different today than like the old ways not working?
Well, it's like one thing with me, and this is the thing that we all had to learn.
Mm.
We, you have to filter. So there's a filter in your brain, in the cellular memory, and then you filter everything before it goes to the heart. And so when I didn't filter my heart. We were taught to bring it into the heart
Mhm.
first and then bring it out of your mouth. No, it damages the heart. So when you put a filter in the brain, and you have to clean your filter, by the way.
Right.
So I put two in my brain actually, and then I also filtered the ego inside of me, so I wouldn't have things from the ego. So it's like all these different things before it hit the heart.
Okay.
So that's one of the old ways that we had to change. And I was like, oh my gosh, I had no idea. No wonder I was so sensitive. No wonder I was hurting myself by emotions.
So there's a whole new set of information for us.
Yes, yes. So as you have a thought pattern, and it's in the
Mhm.
brain, in your cell memory, and going through the brain, it's filtering all the way through the body before it hits the heart. So it does damage to the heart. So the other thing is, so that's the emotional part. Then the mental part of the body, which is, quite a ways outside the body area. And on that part, they had to adjust to knowing what this world was really all about. And it's like, you know, they saw humanity different now. It's like what they were used to seeing, they saw completely different. And, it's how I explain it. It's like this. So you may see the house blue,
Mhm.
okay? And you go through this transformation, you wake up and you go, oh, the house is yellow or red or whatever, another color, right? And that's exactly what happens to incarnated goddesses like you and I.
Mhm.
Everything changes in us from our physical to the emotional, mental, spiritual. And so as we do that, we just keep evolving. And so the gods are here actually to help evolve humanity right now.
Mhm. Okay.
And we're hoping that takes effect as this show goes on. So, um, I look at it, why they're returning right now, because the creator knew it was time. All the turbulence that's happening on the planet right now. And I'm not talking about the politics, sure we need to pay attention to what's happening there. I'm not much of in the politics, you know that, Teresa. And that you know, of course, how do I say this? I'm trying to say this the right way. We have to pay attention, but we don't have to be involved in it. It's a lower vibration that I just don't feel comfortable being involved in. And that's one thing that they had to see. Of course, we have to pay attention to what's going on in this world and to be help modernize the goddesses and all of us.
Mhm. So do you think it's a way to explain it to people that we pay attention to how we live our day-to-day life, that it's a daily occurrence of doing the right things and helping each other and showing that love, but at the same time, not getting so caught up in things that we forget to sort of dance and sing and be joyful and
Right.
live our life.
Right.
There's balance there, and you can be so depressed sometimes if you get too much into the news and things.
That's a really good point you brought up. And I've had some situations where I just got totally overwhelmed. And it's like, wait a minute, you got to let it go.
Mhm.
I love that song from Lee Harris, releasing all energies that no longer belong to me. And that's my favorite. And the goddesses have to do the same thing. The sisters are releasing anything negative, anything that is not helping us. So we don't get depressed. So we don't uh, feel like we can't make it another day,
Mhm.
you know?
I think I
And
hear from you that that's the greatest thing we could really be doing right now
yeah,
for ourselves and for the planet.
that's so true. So true. Um, so releasing depression, anxiety, all that's very important that we do that. And as God says, it's not just the divine feminine, it's also divine masculine.
Mhm.
The men are having these problems too. And this is one thing I want to explain right now. The sisters are here to help men also. It's not just about women um, to evolve and grow in their spirituality. And why was it so important? The timing just was what the creator picked out. It was the time for them to come back. And so you'll be hearing from Goddess Belle. You'll be hearing from Quan Yin. I know that for sure. And some other ones when I have the conduit on here. That's the one thing I want to let everybody know. The creator has gifted me with a conduit that you will not see who he is. He'll be on the show with me and he'll bring the messages through. I'm no longer a trans medium any longer. So with Goddess Belle has intertwined inside of me. So I went through this months of changing to be able to bring her through. We have about 1 minute left before I go and take a break. But the thing is that, you know, Trisha, you brought up a great subject about depression and everything. And I want to talk more about that. I think it's important that they know that the goddesses, all they have to do is call upon them, and they're all here to help us. I think that if you look at accepting the old ways that were not working, that you can bring it into a new way. Um, Release the old emotions. Not everything is a mirror effect anymore. What other people are doing, you have to say, why is that affecting me? When it's time now, I can take charge of my own life. That wasn't my problem. You know I'm talking about the mirror effect,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And so, the one thing is that you want to make sure that every minute, every day of your life, that you're making the right judgment. So that's where you want to filter again and just make your decisions. And if it doesn't feel good in the heart, don't do it. Do not do it. I've learned several lessons over the last year that I've made some decisions I wish I had never made. But, you know, it's the only way to go. But when the entwinement happened, through God's Bell and I, it came to the point where we could go ahead and say, you know, it's okay. I can do this, and uh, we'll be fine. So we're back in a little bit with Teresa and I in a little bit. Welcome, everybody. I'm back with Teresa. Teresa, let's talk about depression in a minute. That's something I really want to talk about. Why do we let things bother us to the point we get depressed? People don't think about that. And I realize in situations sometimes that people feel they have nowhere to go. And the one thing, you call creator, God, spirit, source, whatever you'd like that you address your higher power with. I use creator. That's just how I believe, because creator of all. That praying to him, calling upon the goddesses, Pele Marriha, Isis, Gaia, Quan Yin, Belle now, even call upon them and ask them for help. But let's get back to this depression. I think what happens is it gets so deep seated in us
Mhm.
that we forget that we're still human beings. All of us have a spiritual blueprint that we live by, and we can get off of it. And boy, have I gotten off mine lately, and with some things that have happened. But the thing is yes, there was a form of depression that had hit me. Being an incarnate goddess, it hits harder than you could imagine. Our love is much stronger, um, and especially since now that Goddess Belle is with me, even more love. It's like, and the sensitivity. And so you have to learn to balance that. And so where to go look for help is either find a spiritual advisor you want to go see or a counselor or whoever you want to talk to. It's not just you and I, there's a lot of people
Right.
out there. But the one thing I want to bring up is men are going through this also, their own transformations, and that they need to make sure that they're okay. So anyway, let's get back to the sisters, okay?
Yes.
So, you know, they went through their transformations. They're happy, they're fine, and now they're ready to come out and start talking. And they're here. So it's like, you know, Quan Yin, I love her. She's amazing. She's funny. Yeah, and you would think, wait a minute, the Lady of Compassion is funny. Oh, yes, she is. And then you have Pele, the volcano goddess. And yes, she's full of fire, but yes, she's very good. And Isis of magic. And one day I was wondering, what are you up to? And found out she was working with Gaia in the earth on some magical things that had to be changed. And I was like, whoa. And then find out who the quietest of the sisters are was Gaia. I was like, huh? The Mother Earth is farther than Mariah or Pele or whatever, especially Pele, right? I
Mhm.
go, oh my gosh, she's quiet, the quiet one, you know. And Belle, very powerful, guys, very powerful. It's amazing when the creator wanted to bring her out. And I was just like, What? And what we both went through and how happy that both of us are. It's really, hang on a second, guys, something's happening.
Coming
Yeah.
in.
Hello.
Hello, Goddess Belle. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Oh, you know what, Miss T, it's you.
Yes. Yes, that's me.
Ah, I was not sure I was going to do this today.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if you were going to join us or not.
Yes. So we're talking about all our sisters, huh?
Yes, we are.
You know, many things change, and I have watched humanity grow.
Mhm.
I went, wow, they need to know love and why we're all here. I tell you today, we love you all so much. Call, like God's says, call to us. We're all here to help. To scratch the consciousness. That's why the Creator has asked me to come forward today. So I will leave you at that, and I will join you all again. God
Thank you.
bless.
God bless.
Okay.
She is
So
always a pure joy to talk to.
that was kind of spicy. So let me explain about what happens here. Is uh, so here we go. When the entwinement happened, our consciousness are like
Mhm.
this. And when she separates, it's like this. And she steps out of the consciousness only. So that was not something planned. And I could feel her coming in. It's like, okay, here we go. Okay. So let's get back to that. Thanks, guys. Belly just threw me off my script. Okay. So understanding humanity and interacting with everyone, that was the big thing for Gospel too. It was like, how do I talk to the people? will they understand me? And I kept saying, yeah, you're going to be fine. And she's actually very fine with it. But it took, what, 6 to 8 months for that to happen now. She would come
Long
out and
time.
talk to you on the phone and talk to other people, but it was like, but coming out today was her first time. So, that was a big step for her. I don't know, it's more a big step for her. Me right now, it's kind of like, whoa, take effect of me. And she did a great job. But interacting with other people. So when you talk about depression that's going on, that people are accepting, and that's part of the problem. You're accepting it in your body, you're accepting it in the mind.
Mhm.
And is that depression really yours? And why are you taking it on?
Mhm.
And that's where you want to go and say, okay, I'm going to call upon Goddess Mariah, Goddess of the West, since we live in the Pacific Northwest. I'll just say that. And call to her and help her get rid of things. Um, Ask her to take you out in the Puget Sound and wash it all off. And the other thing is going down with Gaia. And the one thing I want to tell you about that with her is ask permission to come down in the earth. So you want to go to the heart of Gaia, which is 40,000 feet in the center of the earth, right?
Mhm.
And go down, and there is a very special pathway she will meet you on. And you walk the pathway, and there is a pond, and she'll take you into the pond with her goddesses, I'll call them. And then they actually have a waterfall that goes back into it, and you're able to go into the waterfall, and it's all full of all these amazing crystals that just light up. And that is one of the greatest healings you can get. I've done it several times, and I know you have,
Mhm.
but that's something that's what I think the guy can help with. So we brought up that, Mariah, and then going to Pele to refuel. When you think about that, the volcano gods bring that fire back into you that you gave away. That's your power.
Mhm.
I had a situation where I gave my power away, and unbeknownst to me, I did, and it's all reclaimed now. And I'm talking about Teresa, but it's all reclaimed. But the thing is that I will never allow that to happen to me again. And I'll make sure that I don't give my power away to a situation. So, did I have to call upon all the sisters? Yes. And Belle was a part of that. And her power is just totally amazing. And where she was able to help guide me back into center. So as you know, today how I woke up, it was like, yes, I'm me, I'm back. So no matter what. The other thing is Quan Yin, her compassion. Oh my gosh. The love that she will give someone if you just ask. Um, that's something I think is very, very important that you call the Quan Yin. But all the sisters and Goddess Belle, you know, has this immense love that I have never felt before till I intertwined with her. So that's why the creator had given me a conduit, because I'm not transmuting nor. And as we go forward in the next show, I will be explaining a lot more why they're here. Right now, I think it was just introducing of Goddess Belle, I guess, that happened accidentally. I don't think it was
The
accident.
conduit, of course.
Yeah, when the conduit's on here, um, you'll be hearing from other ascended masters and other higher beings that are wanting to give their messages out. I think it's important today that the God recognize the goddesses and know that why they went through this thing and the great shift of consciousness, why they're willing to go through the transformations and bring them forward. The one thing is that when you look at them
Mhm.
and you look at their pictures, that go through the internet, find pictures of them, right?
Right.
And the ones that resonate with you, accept it. Get a statue like I have of Quan Yin back there. Get a statue and embrace the energy of that, of what she recommends and the love, compassion. But she's also a no nonsense goddess. And it's like all of them are, but Quan Yin is like, you know, no more, no more. This is enough. I'm not going to use the word she uses because we're on the air and you've heard her talk with you.
Yeah.
And it's like, enough is enough. You know, the other thing is that respect yourself, love yourself enough to let go of any energies and things you've taken on as a goddess or a divine masculine, to be who you are and love yourself for who you are and what you are. None of us are here by mistake. We all have come for a purpose. It doesn't mean you have to be a radio host or be rich and famous. You can be whoever you are. You know, and I only have like a minute left at that. You know, the other thing is that don't forget about the homeless, everyone. You never know who that person is that you're seeing. You don't know their journey. You don't know their experiences and why they are here. They could be one of the goddesses. They could be one of the Southern Masters walking in that body. See if you care them and love them enough to be who they are. So, I think I'm about running out of time here. Let's see. And the other thing I want to talk about, take care of the physical body. Your physical body needs to be taken care of. If you don't take care of that physical body, the vessel that we've been given by the Creator, you could damage so much that you can do in this lifetime. So for now, next show with me and Theresa, we will be talking more about the goddesses, and I will go more in depth. Thank you for joining me on the Goddess Emergence, where we merge together and merge better.
Thank you for listening to the Goddess Emergence Show with Dr. Brie Gibbs. Tune in the first and third Wednesday of each month at 2 p.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com to experience spiritual pathway that addresses your physical health, emotional frequency, mental clarity, and spiritual well-being, all in perfect harmony. This isn't just an ideal. It is the comprehensive nature of the Goddess Emergence Show with Dr. Brie, a spiritual leader, healer, and trance medium who, alongside the Goddess Belle and the Creator, offer messages from the masters never shared or released on the planet. Beyond the show, Dr. Brie offers individual and group sessions at drbriegibbs.com. That's drbriegibbs.com. We hope to see you next time.